Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the justice system's hidden rulebook. We're going to break down the logic that not only shapes a judge's power, but also defines your own role as a citizen. Let's get right into it.
Okay, let's jump in with a pretty intense scenario. Picture this, a single trial, but multiple guilty verdicts. So does the judge just, add up all the prison time? Well, the real answer is way more structured than you might think.
So how exactly does a judge figure out the total punishment when someone's convicted of multiple crimes? It's not just a gut feeling. It's a very specific and pretty fascinating set of rules. It all kicks off with a really critical decision. Based on just how serious the crimes are, the judge has to pick one of two paths for how the offender is actually going to serve their time. And those two paths are concurrent or consecutive. Now, with concurrent sentences, everything runs at the same time. Simple enough. But with consecutive sentences, they get stacked, one right after the other. And the difference is huge. I mean, look at this example. It's literally the difference between 5 years and 10 years.
Now, you might be thinking, can a judge just keep stacking sentences forever? Well, to stop someone from being locked away for an insanely long time, the law has some really important guardrails built in. A judge can't just keep adding time indefinitely.
And here is the first hard stop. 14 years. That's it. It doesn't matter how many different crimes there are, the total time served from these back-to-back sentences cannot go over that limit. It is an absolute ceiling. But wait, there's a second check and balance too. The total punishment also can't be more than double the maximum sentence for any single one of those crimes. So, let's say the most serious offense had a 10-year maximum sentence. Well, the total time couldn't go over 20 years, even if it's still under that 14-year absolute limit. It's all about keeping the punishment proportional to the crimes. The system is also designed to be efficient. Think about it. Instead of having to appeal every single sentence one by one, a convicted person can appeal the entire chunk of time as a single block. It just makes the whole process simpler and saves a ton of time for everyone.
All right, let's shift gears a bit. We've seen how a judge uses their power, but let's look at the system's administrative backbone. How is legal authority even given to officials in the first place, and what happens when they leave?
To understand this, we need to know this key term, successor in office. It's basically a formal way of saying the person who officially takes over. This simple idea is what makes sure the legal system can keep running smoothly without any interruptions.
So, the whole life cycle of legal authority follows this really clear path. First, power is officially given out. Second, that power can actually travel with an official if they get a promotion or a transfer. And third, the same authority that gives the power can also, you guessed it, take it away.
So what happens if it's kind of murky who's supposed to take over? The system actually has a solution for that. A higher judicial authority just steps in and makes the final call. It's a neat way to make sure there's never a gap or a power vacuum in the chain of command.
Okay, so we've looked at judges and administrators, but let's narrow our focus now to the part that involves every single one of us. Because the justice system doesn't just run on its own. It actually relies on you.
This is a big one. I bet a lot of you have wondered about this. If a police officer asks you for help, do you legally have to do it? Well, the law is surprisingly direct on this. And the answer is yes. In some very specific situations, you actually have a legal duty to help. The law spells out these clear scenarios where helping isn't just a nice thing to do, it's a legal requirement, like helping stop an escape, preventing a public disturbance, or protecting public property. And it doesn't just stop at actively helping out. The law also puts a duty on you to inform. And we're not talking about being a casual witness here. This is about having knowledge of very specific, very serious crimes and being legally required to report it. And yeah, we're not talking about minor stuff. The law is very specific about the major crimes you have to report if you know about them, things like treason, murder, robbery, or a serious assault. Knowing about these things comes with a real public responsibility. So we've looked at the rules for the judge, the administrator, and the citizen. Let's take a step back and see how all these pieces click together to form the big picture. What we've really seen today is that the system is built on a foundation of clear rules. Power is given out, but it's also strictly limited. Authority is passed down through a defined process. And that web of responsibility extends beyond just the officials, placing real legal duties on all of us to help maintain order. And that really brings us to our final thought. The whole system is designed as this delicate balance between state power and our civic duty. It leaves us with a pretty powerful question, right?
Now that you know the rules, what role will you play?